So you've got this killer character idea, a grizzled, arcane-slinging detective who solves magical crimes in the back alleys of a sprawling fantasy city. That sounds awesome, but then you crack open the D&D player's handbook, and you ask yourself, are you a wizard who moonlights as an investigator? Are you an inquisitive rogue who knows a few magic tricks? Maybe an artificer? For years, Dungeons & Dragons has been the go-to, but it has a core design that asks us to cram our most creative character ideas into rigid, predefined boxes called classes. And once you're in that box, your path is pretty much laid out for you. But what if there's a better way? A system that hands you the ultimate freedom to build the character you actually want to play, no compromises. Today we're breaking down why D&D's class system might be holding your creativity hostage and how Savage Worlds can set it free. Let me start by saying that classes aren't evil. They provide a strong archetype, they're a fantastic on-ramp for new players, and they clearly define a character's role. The fighter fights, the cleric heals, the rogue sneaks. It's simple and effective, and it's also a big reason D&D is so approachable. But that simplicity comes at a price: freedom. The class system, especially in D&D 5e, creates what I call the illusion of choice. You pick your class at level 1, and after that your character progression is largely on rails. You get the abilities your class tells you to at the level it tells you to. And while you can gain new skills through things like feats, your options are pretty limited compared to a true point-buy system. Progression is mostly vertical. You just get better at what you already do instead of broadening your horizons. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what that means. If you want to hear more, you can watch this video over here. But wait, you say, what about multiclassing? And yes, multiclassing is one of D&D's official escape hatches for blending archetypes. But let's be completely honest, it's a complex puzzle that not a lot of players want to do. To build a functional multi-class character, you often need a deep system mastery to avoid making a character that feels weaker than their single class friends. The 2024 rules updates have tried to streamline this by making all subclasses unlock at level 3, which tones down some of the most powerful dips, but also adds a new layer of planning. This mechanical rigidity often bleeds into the story. Ever had a magic-hating fighter who finds a powerful Fey artifact and you think, wouldn't it be cool if he developed some minor nature magic from this? In D&D, that's a tougher ask. Your main options are a clunky multi-class dip into Druid, which delays your fighter progression, or begging the DM to homebrew a whole new system just for you. There might be a feat available, but maybe your new feat isn't for another few levels. The rules themselves can fight against organic, story-driven character growth. Your character's journey is too often dictated by a table in a book, not by the events at the table. So if D&D feels like building with a prefab Lego kit, what's the alternative? Enter Savage Worlds. Savage Worlds is a system built on a simple motto: fast, furious, fun. And at the absolute heart of its design is the total absence of classes. It's a point-buy, skill-based system from the ground up, built to let you create literally any character you can dream up. Instead of picking a class, you build your character from a collection of modular parts. The system trusts you, the player, to make a competent character that fits your vision. It doesn't put you on a preset track. It dumps a box of tools onto the table and tells you to get creative. This concept-first approach is the key to its freedom. So how does it actually work? It boils character creation down into a few simple, flexible parts. First, you have attributes and skills. Like in D&D, attributes are your raw potential: agility, smarts, strength, and so on. Skills are your trained abilities like fighting, persuasion, or spellcasting. The key is that you can put points into any skill you want. No class restrictions. If you want a brawny warrior who's also an expert on ancient history, you just buy the fighting skill and the academic skill. That's it. Simple. But the real genius of Savage Worlds lies in two other things: edges and hindrances. Edges are special abilities or perks that make your character unique. Think of them like D&D's feats, but they are an essential part of character building from level 1. You can pick any edge you meet the requirements for, whether it's a combat edge for more attacks, a social edge to become a master manipulator, or an arcane background that grants you magic or psionics or some other sort of magical abilities. On the flip side, you also have hindrances. These are your character's flaws and narrative hooks. Maybe you're arrogant, have a vow you can't break, or are hunted by a powerful foe. Taking these hindrances gives you more points to spend on your attributes, skills, or edges. It's a brilliant mechanic that mechanically rewards you for making a more interesting, flawed, and well-rounded character. So let's get back to our arcane-slinging detective. In D&D, we were stuck taping a rogue and wizard together, or maybe combining a wizard with another special feat. In Savage Worlds, you just build him. You'd give him a high smarts attribute, you'd buy the investigation, notice, and spellcasting skills, then you go shopping for edges. You could take the investigator edge for a bonus on tracking clues. For the magic, you just have to take a arcane background magic edge. You grab a few powers that fit the theme, like Detect Arcana for clues, and a range attack you call Crackling Arcane Blast. To round him out, maybe you also give him the Curious Hindrance because he can't resist a puzzle, and a vow to always see justice served. And you're done. The character is a complete functional whole, built from the concept up, not hammered into a box it was never meant to fit in. This flexibility continues as you play. Savage Worlds doesn't have levels. Instead, after a few sessions, you get an advance. You can spend this on almost anything. Raise a skill, boost an attribute, or buy a completely new edge. Remember that fighter who found the Fate artifact? In Savage Worlds, he could just spend his next advance to buy the arcane background, immediately granting him the magic that the story calls for. His growth is organic and reactive to the campaign. I can already hear the keyboards clacking away, but I like my class. It gives my character a clear identity. And you're not wrong. Archetypes are powerful and fun. The good news is Savage Worlds is so flexible it can handle that too. Many popular settings for the game introduce a hybrid approach. A perfect example is Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, which uses a feature called class edges. Sounds like classes, right? When you make a character, you can choose a class edge, like Barbarian, Cleric, or Wizard. This gives you a bundle of thematic abilities that feel like D&D classes. The Barbarian class edge, for instance, might grant you a rage ability and some combat bonuses. This is the crucial part. You are never locked into that path. Your very next advance can be spent on any other edge or skill in the entire game. You can be a barbarian who decides to learn stealth or picks up an edge that lets them talk to animals. They act as strong starting points, giving you that clear identity without becoming a restrictive straitjacket. It's genuinely the best of both worlds. You can take a class edge once at level 1 and never again. You never have to continue down that path. For a long time, many of us have just accepted that a class system is how RPGs work. It's familiar, it provides structure, and it's comfortable. But that structure can come at the cost of the most important thing at your gaming table, your creativity. D&D classes can force compromises on your concepts, and its rules can make organic, story-driven growth a real challenge. Systems like Savage Worlds prove there's another way. By trading rigid classes for a flexible, modular system of skills, edges, and hindrances, it puts the creative power back where it belongs, with the player. It gives you the tools to build the exact character you have in your head and the mechanics to let that character grow with the story you're telling together. It's a system that trusts you to be creative and rewards you for it. But that's just my take. What do you think? Do you love the structure and identity of classes? Or do you crave an absolute freedom of a classless system? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you're interested in seeing just how powerful Savage Worlds character creation is, check out this video here where I make that hardened noir detective from the ground up. And until next time, stay savage.